The other thing that happened that was really creepy was when I was a teenager, I used to spend a lot of time in my room listening to music. You know, we didn't have computers back then. I didn't have a TV or a phone in my room, but I had a stereo, and I spent lots of time just sort of daydreaming and listening to music. And it was at twilight. It wasn't quite dark yet, and I was lying on my bed, and I felt this sort of, it was like this cloud of musty smelling, clammy feeling just rolled over onto me. So all of a sudden I was enveloped in this clammy feeling, musty smelling thing. And it scared the crap out of me. I jumped out of bed and it was gone. And I don't remember what happened after that, but it creeped me out. So anyway, years later, when I had my son, we were living in Boston, and I gave birth to my son, and my mom came up for a week to help out, and my husband at the time slept in the other room, and my mom slept in the big bed with me and the baby. And we would talk before going to sleep. And I don't know how we got onto the subject, but I mentioned that. And she didn't say anything. And I said, well, what do you think? And she said, that used to happen to me almost every night. I was like, what? And you never told me that? And you live there? I mean, oh. Yeah, something was definitely going on in that house. They used to hear in the middle of the night, they would hear, you remember those, there was like bowling machines where the pins were, this was going back, the pins hung down, and it was like a disc that you would slide down the wooden aisle, and it would knock the pins up. They would hear that going in the middle of the night, and my father would get up with his gun and his dog and go in there, and it wouldn't even be on. So yeah, there was a lot of stuff going on in that house when we were growing up. But they say poltergeist activity, which really is not a ghost. That movie really annoyed me because what they were dealing with was not a poltergeist. Poltergeist activity tends to be connected to, there is almost always a person going through puberty in the house that poltergeist activity happens, and they think that there's something with the hormones and that change of life, you could say, affects our innate ability for telekinesis. That everybody has that ability, but we don't know how to use it. And there's a theory that there's something about the pineal gland and not the pineal gland. Anyway, that somehow when your hormones start kicking in and you're going through puberty, that somehow affects your telekinetic abilities, and that's why they have things moving or sounds. And it could be really coming just from our brains. But whatever it was really scary. So, yeah, I think I have quite a few of those. I didn't even think, you know, I could talk about those. I'm going to post a couple more closer to Halloween. But it was a lovely trip down memory lane. All right, thanks for listening.